high technology and modern machinery, global agriculture is making continuous breakthroughs, ushering in a new era of precise, sustainable, and record-breaking harvests. In just one late-season harvest of 2025, colossal machines working side by side with millions of farmers across continents have gathered hundreds of millions of tons of crops with speed and precision that surpass every limit. Don't take your eyes off today's video, because you're about to witness the most spectacular harvest moments on the planet, where mechanical power meets human intelligence, shaping a bright future for modern global agriculture. The Oxbow BH100 bean harvester was born to conquer small fields, narrow paths, and complex terrains. Compact yet powerful, it features a dual-blade cutting system that slices clean at the roots, high-speed vibrating drums that separate the pods, and a continuous inclined conveyor that swiftly gathers the harvest in one smooth pass. Fresh beans travel along ribbed rubber belts straight into the rear-mounted collection bins, while stems, leaves, and debris are neatly discharged to the side. Fast, clean, and decisively efficient. But on industrial-scale farms spanning hundreds of hectares, true supremacy belongs to the giants of the field, the mighty combine harvesters, capable of processing up to 25 tons of beans per hour. Operating like mobile factories across the fields, these machines use ultra-wide cutter bars to swallow entire rows in one go, with dual counter-rotating drums that gently separate the pods. A powerful upper airflow continuously clears out leaves and twigs, leaving only bright, uniform, and intact beans behind. When the storage tank fills, the system automatically lifts and unloads the beans into trailers in mere seconds. Seamless, time-saving, and up to 5 times more efficient, boosting productivity by over 400%. Thanks to such technology, large-scale farms across Europe and North America now harvest hundreds of thousands of tons of premium fresh beans each year, far surpassing the limits of traditional manual labor. A resounding testament to the spectacular rise of modern global agriculture. More than 90% of the seaweed available on the market today is still harvested mainly by hand. Natural seaweed typically clings tightly to rocks in the intertidal zone, areas where the tide rises and falls each day, leaving behind dense bands of seaweed. Harvesters use small knives or sickles to cut the upper part of the plant, leaving the root firmly attached to the rock for the next season. A crucial technique that allows the beds to regenerate naturally without replanting. Usually, they cut about 5 to 10 centimeters above the base to avoid damaging the young, growing tissue. Experienced harvesters can easily tell when the seaweed has matured just enough for optimal yield and quality, with thicker, crisp fronds, a darker color, and a higher natural gelatin content. Harvesting wild seaweed is a demanding task that requires both skill and endurance. Workers must follow the rhythm of the tides, rising before dawn, wading over slippery rocks in cold surf, and working quickly before the sea returns to reclaim the shore. Seaweed is not only the green vegetable of the ocean, but also a true superfood, packed with over 60 types of minerals, vitamins, and rare amino acids. Some species can even absorb up to 20 times more CO2 than land plants, helping to combat climate change and protect the planet's future. Let's step away from the salty breeze of the ocean and into the dense tropical rainforests of West Africa, a region that supplies over 42% of the world's cocoa. Though cocoa is the soul of a multi-billion-dollar industry, its harvest journey is anything but sweet. Mechanization has long been considered, yet the complex biology of the cacao tree, combined with the region's humid, uneven rainforest terrain, has made it nearly impossible. Today, about 95% of all cocoa is still harvested entirely by hand, by tropical farmers earning barely $1 a day. Under the harsh equatorial sun, farmers weave through the shade of cacao trees, using sharp, curved knives to cut each pod with precision, careful not to damage the stem, allowing the tree to bloom again next season. The bright orange pods are gathered into wicker baskets and carried on their shoulders across muddy, slippery slopes to the collection sites. There, the pods are split open to reveal the wet white beans inside, which are then fermented under banana leaves for 3 to 5 days, a delicate process that defines the chocolate's fragrance and its subtle, bittersweet taste. With over 8 million tons of cocoa produced each year, these calloused hands continue, day after day, to trade sweat and endurance for the sweet flavor cherished by the world. In May, amid the tiered tea hills of Shizuoka, Japan, the rhythm of the harvest begins to stir. Mechanical cranes lift rolls of black netting, gliding smoothly over rows of tender tea bushes to drape them in a thin veil that shields them from the harsh sun. For 10 to 30 days of shading, the plants reduce photosynthesis, retaining more L-theanine and chlorophyll, the secret behind the jade green color and signature umami taste of premium sencha, kabusecha, and matcha. When the shading period ends, Valiant and Maruyama tea harvesters roar to life. Their parallel blades skim just above the canopy, slicing the delicate top shoots only a few millimeters thick. Suction fans lift the freshly cut leaves onto conveyors, evenly blowing them into mesh bags on both sides. Meanwhile, GPS sensors and canopy height monitors automatically adjust blade height and cutting speed to match every subtle curve of the tea rows. Everything unfolds in flawless precision, a harmony of technology, human craftsmanship, and nature itself. In Shizuoka, where every leaf is handled with care, technique, and pride, the Japanese are not merely harvesting tea, they are cultivating perfection, leaf by leaf. As a staple ingredient in Western cuisine, the world harvests more than 8 million tons of asparagus each year using a variety of methods. Yet in many countries, manual harvesting remains the dominant approach. Despite its high value, asparagus is one of the most demanding crops to harvest, requiring precision, timing, and patience. Farmers carry specialized harvesting knives, long, thin steel blades, sharpened to perfection. They gently part the soil by hand, locate each spear with care, and make a swift, clean cut just a few centimeters above the crown to avoid damaging the tender shoots below, the lifeline for the next harvest. There are only a few golden hours each day for cutting. Any delay, even by minutes, can mean losing the entire yield. Priced at over $400,000, these advanced harvesters are mainly found in Germany, the Netherlands, and the United States. Though not yet widespread, they represent a technological breakthrough, a glimpse into a new era of precision and sustainable agriculture. Drive-through raspberry harvesters, such as the Oxbow 7420 and Litau Harvester, have become the standard across the United States, Canada, and much of Europe. These machines are purpose-built for high-density, straight-row raspberry farms, where hand-picking is nearly impossible due to vast acreage and heavy yields. Their operation relies on a dual centrifugal shaker system mounted on either side of the machine. As it moves slowly down the rows, soft, rotating rods or brushes gently vibrate the plants, causing ripe berries to fall into collection trays without breaking branches or bruising the fruit. Beneath the canopy, a series of moving conveyors swiftly gathers the berries, passing them through a primary cooling and coarse sorting system, which preserves freshness even during long hours of continuous operation under the sun. Compared to manual picking, these harvesters deliver 5 to 8 times higher productivity, dramatically reducing labor costs while ensuring consistent fruit quality for industrial processing. More than just fruit-picking machines, they represent a leap in agricultural engineering, freeing human labor and standardizing the entire modern raspberry industry. Kiwi, the elegant fruit and national symbol of New Zealand, grows on trellised vines nearly 2 meters high, forcing pickers to work with their heads tilted back, arms raised, and shoulders straining beneath dense foliage. How long, one might wonder, can they gaze upward at those clusters of kiwi fruit before their necks and backs begin to protest? Each perfectly ripened kiwi is hand-picked with care to avoid bruising. Even the slightest scratch can downgrade an entire batch. A skilled picker can harvest up to 1,000 fruits per hour, moving with practiced precision, as if born for the task. In the high-tech orchards of Hawke's Bay and the Bay of Plenty, autonomous harvesting robots are gradually taking over. Guided by advanced imaging sensors and vacuum suction arms, they identify ripe fruit and detach it gently from the stem without a single blemish. This blend of human craftsmanship and machine intelligence has propelled New Zealand's kiwi industry to global leadership, where every fruit is not only harvested by diligent hands, but with the flawless precision of modern technology. The vast army of giant combine harvesters stretching across the American Midwest is the driving force behind hundreds of millions of tons of soybeans each year. Here, soybeans are not just a crop. They are an economic engine powered by advanced mechanization. Massive machines from John Deere, Case IH, and New Holland can harvest over 50 tons per hour, working non-stop across fields that span thousands of hectares. Equipped with GPS-guided automation, yield sensors, and intelligent cabins, these machines optimize every route, minimize losses, and save fuel. Thanks to this technological might, the United States remains the world's largest producer and exporter of soybeans, meeting the immense global demand for food, cooking oil, and biofuel. Across the Pacific, however, Japan has taken a very different approach. Compact Kubota and Yanmar soybean harvesters, standing barely 1.5 meters tall, are a fraction of the size of their American counterparts. The reason lies in Japan's small, fragmented farmlands, where agility matters more than brute force. While their output can't match the industrial scale of US harvesters, Japanese machines excel in precision, efficiency, and care, consuming less fuel and causing minimal damage to nearby crops. It's a reflection of Japan's hallmark philosophy of lean efficiency, where technology serves not to dominate the land, but to work in harmony with it. Every October and November, the pecan groves of Georgia and Texas come alive with a thunderous tremor, the arrival of shaking harvesters, the steel arms of this billion-dollar agricultural industry. These massive machines, weighing nearly 5 tons, are equipped with hydraulic arms over 3 meters long, ending in specialized rubber clamps that grip the trunk of each tree. When activated, the arm shakes violently for just a few seconds, enough to make thousands of ripe pecans rain down without damaging branches or roots. Immediately after, sweeper and harvester units roll in, sweeping the orchard floor clean. They suck up scattered nuts, separate leaves and shells, and funnel a steady stream of gleaming pecans into storage bins at the rear. Thanks to this fully mechanized chain, productivity has increased 8-fold compared to manual picking, saving thousands of labor hours while maintaining consistent quality. The result? The United States now produces about 123,000 tons of pecans annually, accounting for over 80% of global output and firmly holding its place as the world's leading pecan producer and exporter. Rolling across vast cucumber fields spanning hundreds of hectares are the green giants, Vogel V6 harvesters, the pride of North American agricultural engineering. With their massive steel frames and advanced automated harvesting systems, each Vogel V6 operates like a machine of pure precision. At the front, An integrated grabbing, cutting, rolling mechanism gently lifts each cucumber plant from the soil without bruising the fruit, then feeds it onto the central conveyor. Inside the machine, screening and pre-cleaning systems work in perfect rhythm before the cucumbers are unloaded into storage bins and transferred to transport trucks, all within minutes. Each Vogel V6 can harvest 20 to 30 tons of cucumbers per hour, up to 50 times faster than manual labor, drastically cutting labor costs and optimizing harvest time. Every year, regions like Ontario and Michigan, which have fully embraced mechanized agriculture with state-of-the-art Vogel harvesters, produce over 200,000 tons of cucumbers, meeting the massive demand of the food processing and export industries across North America. These green giants do more than boost productivity. They are shaping the future of smart farming, where efficiency, precision, and sustainability have become the new standards of modern agriculture. Though it doesn't bring in massive profits like Brussels sprouts, the red radish remains a key player in the work calendar of California farmers. With just 30 days from sowing to harvest, they can quickly rotate their fields for the next crop. When harvest season arrives, each worker hand pulls the radishes, selects those meeting the standard 2-3 centimeter size, and ties them into bunches with twine to sell fresh. Afterwards, they carry heavy baskets filled with radishes to the trucks, which deliver them directly to farmers' markets across California. Inside the modern greenhouse, the red radish harvest is almost fully automated. The specialized machine moves slowly between perfectly aligned rows, using an optical sensor system and parallel grippers to lift clusters of radishes that meet the ideal size, each one handled within seconds. Once more than 10 roots are collected, the auto-bundling unit tightens a nylon band, forming neat, uniform bunches as if measured by machine. The system can process up to 1 ton of radishes per hour, reducing manual labor by more than 80%. Workers only need to place the finished bundles onto trays and move them to the washing and packaging area. In just a few minutes, hundreds of bright red, glossy, freshly harvested radish bunches are ready to leave the greenhouse. Let's take a quick trip to Japan, to Yamagata, where locals are preparing for a delicacy that comes only once a year, the snow-aged apple. At the end of December, when the Fuji apple season has just ended, the finest apples are hand-picked, placed in plastic baskets, and transported to the snow-covered mountains. There, farmers carefully stack them in layers and use snowblowers and excavators to bury them under 2 to 3 meters of snow, before securing the pile with wind-proof tarps. By late March to early April, as the snow begins to melt, the farmers return to uncover the white layer, dig out each tray of apples, and sort them by quality. These apples, which have hibernated for 3 months, are known as Yuki Ringo, snow apples, sold at a higher price and often used for fresh juice, premium desserts, or spring gift boxes. If you're an apple lover, this is one you'll never forget. The flavor of Yuki Ringo is refreshingly crisp, with a subtle honey-like aroma. Thanks to 3 months of winter sleep under deep snow, its acidity softens while natural sugars rise, creating a perfect balance between sweetness and tang. In the past, maple sap was collected in buckets hung directly on tree trunks. That method worked fine for a few dozen trees. But in Vermont, where more than 460,000 maple trees are tapped each year, everything had to evolve. From February to April, when warm days and freezing nights cause the sap to flow, workers drill small holes about 2 inches deep into the trunks. Each hole is placed around waist height or slightly above and shifted every year, allowing the trees to heal naturally, meaning a single maple can be tapped for decades without harm. Instead of dripping into buckets, the sap now runs through a network of tubing, stretching for tens of kilometers across the forest. Acting like an artificial circulatory system, small lines draw sap from each tree. Larger ones channel it to a central collection station, and vacuum pumps keep the flow steady, cutting manual labor by up to 80%. Because the tubing system is sealed, the sap never touches air, preserving its natural purity before it's filtered and boiled down into amber maple syrup, the sweet golden icon of North America, with grade A batches fetching as much as $250 per gallon. Highbush blueberry, the variety that makes up around 80% of the world's blueberry acreage and yield, is celebrated for its synchronized fruiting, making it ideal for large-scale mechanical harvesting. Every June, farmers bring out the Oxbow 7440, a true steel giant of the fields. From a distance, the machine resembles a mobile fortress. Its tunnel frame design allows the entire body to pass directly over tall rows of blueberry bushes without pruning or clearing space. Inside, a dual-shaft shaking system reads the plant's density and fruit ripeness, then automatically adjusts vibration frequency to maximize harvest efficiency while minimizing bruising. Thanks to its top-loader system with a capacity of up to 400 kilograms per bin, the machine can run continuously for hours without stopping to unload. A crucial advantage for large farms aiming to push productivity to the limit. Across the wild lowbush blueberry fields of Maine, the grasshopper lowbush harvester stands out as a machine engineered specifically for this unique variety. Plants that grow no taller than an adult's knee, spreading close to the ground in dense, sprawling mats. At the front of the harvester, a mechanical comb assembly with dozens of fine steel tines is precisely calibrated to graze just the top layer of the blueberry bushes, where the ripest fruit is most abundant. A manual adjustment system allows the operator to fine-tune the comb's depth and angle to match the terrain, ensuring the tines sweep only the upper canopy. This prevents root damage or fruit bruising while preserving the lower layer of foliage for the next season's growth. This machine is a perfect example of how technology doesn't just help humans harvest sweetness, but also protects the living legacy of North America's oldest wild blueberry landscapes. Do you think wasabi belongs only to Japan? The truth is, even in North America, where the temperature swings far beyond the ideal 8 to 18 degrees Celsius, farmers have learned to grow and harvest wasabi year-round inside greenhouses that precisely control heat, humidity, and water flow. Gone are the days of farmers wading through icy streams like in Shizuoka. In these modern facilities, wasabi is cultivated on dry gravel beds with a top-down drip irrigation system that keeps the roots cool while minimizing fungal disease. When harvest time comes, workers use small shovels to loosen the base, lift each plant carefully, shake off the gravel, and trim away the leaves and excess roots. Finally, the rhizomes are rinsed gently with low-pressure water to preserve their thin, aromatic skin, the very layer responsible for wasabi's signature sharp, nose-tingling heat. Although its flavor is milder than that of Japan's mineral-rich, stream-grown wasabi, the greenhouse model offers major advantages: lower root rot rates, consistent freshness, and uniform quality during long-distance transport, making it an ideal solution for premium markets in Europe and North America. The modern cotton harvester is transforming the fields, helping farmers cut costs by up to 8% through full on-field process optimization. At the front, a synchronized array of rotating drums works on a suction and brush mechanism that gently separates the cotton from its boll without damaging the delicate fibers. The harvested cotton is then carried through a central pneumatic system, where dry leaves and debris are filtered out, leaving behind only pure, fluffy white lint. But the machine's most impressive feature is its automatic module builder. Instead of relying on a separate compactor, the system presses, wraps, and ejects each dense cotton roll, all while the harvester keeps moving. This continuous process not only eliminates intermediate handling, but also reduces fuel consumption by nearly 20% compared to older models, marking a major step forward in efficiency and sustainability for modern cotton farming. Unlike most crops with a fixed harvest schedule, bamboo shoots are the kind that emerge whenever they wish and must be picked right then. Just a few days delay, and the tender sprouts will stretch into bamboo, turn fibrous, and lose nearly all of their culinary value. For underground bamboo species, finding the shoots requires both skill and intuition. Harvesters carefully observe the soil for subtle signs, a slight mound or a fine crack where a shoot is about to emerge. Then, using a sharp knife or small hoe, they slide close to the base and dig at a gentle angle to avoid damaging the young shoot. Each movement must be precise, cutting only the edible portion while leaving the roots intact so the plant can continue to grow for the next season. Have you ever wondered what it's like to harvest fruit 35 meters above the ground, the height of a 10-story building? Let's climb the towering Palmyra palms of Kerala, India, where translucent, juicy fruit flesh waits to be collected. Here, climbing is not just about strength, it's a craft. Some farmers scale the palms bare-handed, gripping the rough trunks and steadying themselves among the hanging clusters, while others rely on support ropes held by teammates below for balance and safety. Armed with long, curved, razor-sharp knives, they slice cleanly through the thick, fibrous stems, careful not to crush the tender fruit inside. On the ground, fallen fruits that have detached naturally are gathered first, while others are cut open manually to extract the pristine white pulp within. When the leaves of the blue agave, the very plant behind Mexico's world-famous tequila, begin to turn silvery gray and droop toward the ground, it signals that the plant has finally matured. After 7 to 9 years of patient growth, the skilled jimadores step in to begin the harvest. Under the scorching sun of the Jalisco highlands, they start by trimming away the tough outer leaves, exposing the swollen heart within. Then, using the koa, a long wooden-handled tool, fitted with a flat, circular steel blade, each jimador severs the roots and pries the dense, heavy core from the soil. Because the koa's edge dulls quickly against the agave's fibrous leaves and gritty base, the blade is sharpened by hand before each new cut, ensuring it slices cleanly without tearing the flesh. Each agave heart, or piña, can weigh up to 100 kilograms, demanding a precise blend of strength and rhythm, a skill honed only by those who have grown up in families devoted to this craft. A veteran jimador can harvest a full-grown agave in under 1 minute, and it's their labor, patience, and mastery that lay the foundation for every bottle of tequila, the golden, smooth spirit that carries the warmth and soul of Mexico to the world. In the past, farmers had to carry baskets, bend their backs to lift each melon weighing over 2 kilograms, and haul them across long rows under the blazing sun. A grueling task that drained their strength and often left the fruit scratched before it even reached the truck. Today, they have the help of mobile harvesting conveyors, a smart mechanical arm designed specifically for melons. The belts are made of soft rubber, allowing workers to gently toss the fruit onto them without damaging the rind. One end of the conveyor lies close to the ground to receive the melons, while the other end rises to deliver them directly into the truck bed. 2 conveyors operate side by side, moving slowly between the rows. Around 20 workers coordinate seamlessly along the system, forming an open-air assembly line, pickers, placers, and loaders working in perfect rhythm. The conveyor doesn't replace human hands, but it reduces over 70% of the heavy lifting, cuts harvest time in half, and ensures every melon remains intact and gleaming under the golden sun of the season. Every year, from June to early August, the peach orchards of California and South Carolina, the two largest peach-producing regions in the United States, enter their most vibrant season of the year. When the trees are covered in shades of pink and orange, hundreds of workers spread out across the orchards, carrying soft fabric baskets to pick each fruit by hand. Each peach weighs about 150 to 200 grams and bruises easily, so the entire harvest must be done manually. Pickers gently twist the stem between their thumb and forefinger, checking the fruit's ripeness by its color and fragrance before carefully placing it into the basket. Once harvested, the peaches are taken to cooling stations within less than 4 hours to preserve their crisp texture and signature aroma. In California alone, more than 250,000 tons of fresh peaches are harvested every year, most for domestic consumption, an enduring symbol of the American summer, where the sweet scent of peaches evokes the warmth of long, golden days. The John Deere combine harvesters are considered the backbone of American mechanized agriculture. Powerful, multi-purpose machines capable of harvesting everything from wheat, corn, and soybeans to sorghum, simply by changing the front header attachment. When the sorghum fields of America's Midwest turn a deep crimson red, these giant combines begin to roll. At the front, a 10-meter wide cutting header glides just above the ground, feeding the entire stalk into the processing chamber, where high-speed rotors and strong airflows separate the grain from the stalk before lifting it into the grain tank above. This front section, known as the header, is built as a modular unit that can be swapped depending on the crop. For corn, the header uses deep row grabbers designed to pull and cut tough stalks. For sorghum or wheat, it's replaced with a draper header, a flat cutting platform with a moving belt that smoothly feeds each stalk into the threshing system with precision. Sorghum may not be a common sight on the dinner table, but it's one of the most resilient and vital crops on Earth. Grown widely across Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, it thrives in dry, scorching lands where few other plants can survive. In your kitchen, spring onions are a familiar ingredient. But have you ever wondered how they're harvested across fields that stretch for dozens of hectares? Let's visit Denmark, the birthplace of Asa Lift, the pioneer of Europe's vegetable harvesting technology. At the front, a thin steel blade slices just below the roots, while rubber rollers gently grip the stalks and lift them from the soil. Next, an angled conveyor belt carries the onions upward, where soft rotating brushes remove dirt before neatly stacking them into crates. In just 5 minutes, a single machine can harvest over 600 meters of onion rows, up to 20 times faster than manual labor, while keeping every stalk straight, clean, and perfectly intact, ready for its journey to your local supermarket. During the bright summer months in Florida and Mexico, mango orchards reach their harvest peak when millions of golden fruits ripen at once, filling the air with their fragrance. Hand-picking remains the preferred and almost indispensable method, since each mango variety ripens differently and has a unique skin texture. Pickers must observe the color, feel the firmness, and check the stem to determine the perfect time to harvest. Low-hanging fruits are picked directly, while those high above are reached using hydraulic lifting baskets, compact in appearance but capable of extending up to 8 to 10 meters high. The platform is controlled by a small panel on the handrail, allowing pickers to raise, lower, or rotate the lift with just a few simple moves. This system boosts productivity up to 5 times compared to ladders, ensures worker safety, and protects branches from damage. After harvesting, mangoes are rinsed under gentle water jets or immersed in circulating wash tanks to remove sap and dust, then dried, sorted, and cold-packed for export. Every year, Mexico, the largest mango exporter in the Americas, supplies over 2 million tons of fresh mangoes to global markets, most of them still picked carefully by hand from orchards like these. The tree shaker is the secret weapon of America's plum orchards. Its steel arm clamps tightly around the trunk, then shakes it powerfully for a few seconds, at a frequency of up to 400 vibrations per second, causing thousands of ripe plums to rain down onto large catching tarps without damaging branches or unripe fruit. In just a few short seconds, a tree is completely harvested. From the tarps, the plums are moved directly onto conveyor belts, passing through cleaning, sorting, and packing stations right in the field. Each shaker can harvest up to 60 tons of plums per day, operating tirelessly under the summer sun. Alongside the trunk-shaking tree shakers, American farmers also use another type of machine designed for low, narrow canopy plum orchards, the canopy shaker. Its 2 symmetrical rotor arms vibrate at a frequency of 6 to 10 Hz, sending oscillations directly through the canopy to shake off ripe fruit without breaking branches. Beneath the trees, a closed system of catching tarps and conveyors collects the falling plums, separates leaves and debris, and transfers the clean fruit straight into storage bins. Leaving behind America and Europe, we arrive in South Korea, where the lowering of pond temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius marks the beginning of the lotus root harvest season. Harvesters wear full-body waterproof suits, thick rubber gloves, and use broad, blunt-tipped knives, tools that allow them to cut and separate rhizomes without cracking their delicate skin. Hidden beneath a thick layer of mud, each lotus stem contains 3 to 6 connected root segments, crisp, starchy, yet so fragile that even a slight touch can cause them to split. Instead of digging with shovels, farmers use high-pressure water jets to loosen the soil and gently release the roots without any mechanical impact. Once freed, the roots float to the surface, where workers gather them into wooden boats, then lift them ashore with small cranes. The process must be quick. Within just 2 to 3 hours of air exposure, the roots begin to oxidize and turn brown. Thanks to this delicate and precise technique, South Korea exports over $100 million USD worth of lotus roots each year, turning a plant born from the mud into a high-value agricultural product on the global market. When aloe vera leaves reach full maturity, about 8 to 12 months old and nearly 80 centimeters long, farmers begin harvesting. Using sharp knives, they cut each leaf close to the base, then tilt the cut end downward to drain the yellow sap containing aloin, a bitter compound that can ruin an entire batch of gel if not removed properly. Harvesting aloe requires speed and precision, as even a small bend or bruise can cause the inner gel to oxidize. Only thick, plump, unbroken leaves are considered suitable, and they are carefully placed into shallow trays or soft-lined crates to protect their delicate outer skin. On large farms, mobile harvesting conveyors run along the rows, collecting hundreds of leaves in just a few minutes, reducing manual labor by up to 70% while keeping the gel inside fresh and intact. Typically, a skilled worker can cut up to 1,000 leaves per day, but ensuring that each leaf remains firm, clean, and free of yellow sap still depends entirely on the harvester's experience. The key to the purity of every drop of aloe gel that follows. The grapefruit harvest begins when the fruit turns a uniform shade of pinkish gold, with taut, slightly textured skin. During peak season in Texas, the homeland of the famous Rio Red variety, skilled pickers gently twist each fruit along the stem, creating just enough torque for it to detach naturally without tearing the peel. But under the dry, scorching sun of the semi-desert region, time is the greatest enemy of quality. Just a few hours delay after full ripeness can cause the skin to dull, essential oils to evaporate, and the flesh to begin drying out. That's why the entire harvest must be fast, continuous, and precise, ensuring that every grapefruit, the moment it leaves the branch, still retains its glossy, aromatic skin and the signature sweet tart flavor that has made Rio Red a beloved name across the United States. In the summer months, when rows of zucchini fields in France reach peak production, hundreds of workers head out for the biggest harvest of the year. Despite advances in mechanization, zucchini are still picked almost entirely by hand, as their thin skin and soft stems make them extremely prone to scratches and bruising. In the fields, pickers move along each row, holding the fruit with one hand and using a small knife to cut the stem cleanly with the other, making quick, precise movements to avoid tearing the glossy green skin. Each worker carries a shallow plastic crate, which, once full, is emptied onto collection trucks, moving slowly alongside the rows. To preserve freshness, harvesting takes place every 2 to 3 days, when the fruits reach about 18 to 20 centimeters in length, the golden stage for flavor and yield. On average, a skilled picker can harvest 400 to 600 kilograms per day, all done in the early morning hours when the air is cool and the fruits are still firm, vibrant, and full of life. The first stop on our journey takes us to the endless banana plantations of Mindanao, Philippines. Stretching across more than 500,000 hectares, this is where millions of tons of the world-famous Cavendish bananas are grown. At around 16 months old, the bananas are harvested while still green, timed perfectly so that they ripen just as they reach consumers. Harvesting is done in pairs. One worker trims the leaves and cuts the stalk with a sharp knife, while the other carefully catches the heavy bunch to prevent bruising. Before that, each bunch is wrapped in a layer of plastic and cushioned between tiers to prevent scratches and slight premature ripening. A single bunch can weigh up to 50 kilograms, so farmers wear shoulder pads made from soft foam, specially designed to absorb up to 70% of the load pressure as they carry the fruit from the field. Because the work of harvesting bananas is so physically demanding, people came up with a solution both simple and ingenious. One that completely transformed how bananas travel from the plantation to the table, and helped elevate them to international export standards. Instead of carrying the heavy loads by hand, each banana bunch, weighing tens of kilograms, is hung on steel hooks that glide along a cable system stretching nearly 20 kilometers. Using gravity-driven pulleys combined with small motors on the slopes, the system moves hundreds of bunches from the field to the collection station in just a few minutes, dozens of times faster than before. From a distance, the sight looks almost surreal. Rows of banana bunches gliding through the air like an endless green current, drifting gently toward their final stop, a resting station before the journey continues into the factory, where they're washed, sorted, cooled, and sent off to the world. Miyazaki mango, the premium variety from Japan's Miyazaki prefecture, is world-renowned under the name Egg of the Sun. Each fruit must weigh at least 350 grams, have a sugar content above 15%, and possess a flawless, glowing red skin that looks as if it has absorbed the sun itself. When the mango reaches peak ripeness, it isn't picked in the usual way. Instead of being cut from the stem, each fruit is cradled in a small mesh net hung beneath the tree, waiting to drop naturally when perfectly ripe. The net acts like a gentle hammock, catching the mango mid-air to preserve its shape, texture, and delicate sweetness. Every step of the process, from greenhouse cultivation and hand selection of blossoms to light adjustment and net harvesting, is carefully monitored and documented. Only those that meet the strictest criteria earn the title Tayo no Tamago before leaving the farm, often sold at auction for up to $660 per pair. So, would you be willing to pay that much to taste what's considered the ultimate expression of Japanese mango craftsmanship? Jackfruit may still be unfamiliar to consumers in Europe or the US, but across Asia, it's woven into everyday life. From street vendors' baskets to summer desserts at home. To Westerners, jackfruit sounds exotic. It smells strange, and its spiky shell looks intimidating. Some Americans even joke that it looks like a pineapple on steroids plotting world domination. Yet this odd-looking fruit is starting to capture the curiosity of American chefs. Jackfruit's fibrous texture makes it a surprisingly good meat substitute. Shredded, marinated with barbecue sauce, and served like pulled pork, all while being completely vegan. In Los Angeles, trendy plant-based restaurants now serve jackfruit burgers and jackfruit tacos, and they don't come cheap. Meanwhile, back in Asia, farmers still rely on instinct to harvest it. A dull thud when tapped, a faint stickiness on the stem, and a whiff of ripeness in the air. Jackfruit is a paradox of the tropics, humble yet grand, capable of sitting in a roadside basket one day and on a Michelin-starred menu the next. Few tropical fruits are as temperamental as rambutan. It ripens fast, bursts into color, and if you're even a day late, a single rainfall can dull its red skin, curl its spines, and wash away its fragrance. For growers, rambutan isn't just a fruit tree. It's a biological clock, precise to the day. A mature tree can yield up to 5,000 fruits per season. About a week before harvest, farmers cover the canopy with a fine mesh, not for looks, but to keep fruit flies out, maintain humidity, and let the fruit color naturally without chemicals. When the spines soften and curl slightly, and the skin turns fiery red, that's the golden moment. Harvesters use poles fitted with small blades to cut entire clusters, delicately, like picking flowers, keeping the stems intact to prevent sap from leaking and spoiling the fruit's sheen. From March to June each year, when the blazing sun drenches the red basalt plains of Lampung, hundreds of workers begin the pineapple harvest. They move slowly through the low, razor-edged rows, twisting and snapping each fruit cleanly from its stem before tossing it into the keranjang, a woven bamboo basket strapped to their backs, weighing up to 50 kilograms when full. Pineapples aren't heavy because of their size, but because of their high water content, which makes up nearly 86% of the fruit's weight, turning every load under the tropical heat into a true test of endurance. That sweet pineapple scent wafting across the field isn't just fragrance. It's a trace of ethanol, and natural esters released as sugars in the fruit begin to ferment slightly under the sun. To seasoned growers, that scent alone tells the story of the harvest, because a good crop of pineapples always smells ripe on the wind before it's seen by the eye. Before you stretches a sea of crimson lychee orchards, where millions of clusters are entering the busiest harvest of the year. The lychee season typically runs from May to July, when the hot, humid weather helps the fruit develop its deep red color, juicy texture, and delicate sweetness. Each worker can pick an average of 300 to 400 clusters per day, earning around $15 to $18 an hour at large farms in China and Thailand. Two countries that together produce more than 60% of the world's lychees. After harvesting, the fruit is taken straight to wholesale markets or processing facilities within a few hours. There, lychees are washed, quickly chilled to 5 degrees Celsius, and sorted by size, color, and sweetness before being packed for sale.